Hello and welcome to I Have No Plan, and I'm doing this off the top of my head. This is your host and illustrator Siege, and today I'm going to be addressing my improvement issues or requests or questions or whatever you want to call it. Also, before I start, I'd like to thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers already. Jeez, I just hit 1,000, guys. What the hell? Anyways, let's get started. So, people have been asking me since the super stream that I did with Psychra, Bob Meatbag, Mark Brunet, Jet from the Jetty Jet Show, Mira, and Ricardo, and then for a little bit, Costa. So, I showed my old work on my old DeviantArt account. I showed a few of my older pieces, and I showed some of my first digital paintings. And yeah, back when I was using a mouse to draw. And it seemed to grab the attention of a bunch of people, and so some people came to my channel and asked me about it. So I figured I'm not doing anything today, so I'll just throw out a video about it. Why not? Why not, right? Why not? So here's some of my earlier drawings and digital works that I did. And as you can see, I did it on paper first, and then I took it into Photoshop. Actually, at the time I didn't even have a scanner, so I actually had to take a photo of it and then just place it into Photoshop. So that was the bootleg styles. But yeah, so the question that I've been getting is, how did you improve so quickly? I didn't actually think this was quickly, but I guess it was. So I became focused. I had a goal, and I knew what direction I wanted to go with, and I also had a lot of motivation to get better faster. So I decided to focus my learning. So you can see, like in here, you can see just like all the different art. I started noticing strengths that I had, and then I decided to ignore them because that's what smart people do. It's not what smart people do. Don't do that. And I just built up my work, and I kept on working at it and practicing all the time. I was not drawing that much, to be honest with you. Like, I was like skipping a lot and just like coming back every once in a while. But the thing that I was doing, the thing that I actually didn't realize I was doing, was that I used to analyze things. I would look at things to learn. So I would be looking at a face, or I'd be looking at an animal, and then I would learn from looking at that for a long time. This is not a good example of that, dude. I didn't look at anything that looked like this. So here we go. Let's go to where my progress began to get fast. And that's when we get over here to conceptart.org. This was my sketchbook. I made this back in 2008, and I made this back when I was 21. And 2008, I was 21. I was turning 22 that year. I really felt like I was a late bloomer. I thought that I was behind the game. I thought that everybody else is so much better than me, and I was worried and upset about it. But you know, I continued working because I'm just like, well, if I don't work now, then it's not going to happen. So let's see. So this is literally the beginning of 2008. I didn't even know, but yeah, it's January 12th. Let's see. I introduced myself up here, and I said, you know, I got some inspiration. I'm going to do it. Let's go. And so I jumped in with my arms open and my mind and my eyes just ready to go. So jumped in with some life drawings that I did in class, because yeah, it looks like this was while I was still attending Sheridan College. I didn't draw very much when I was at Sheridan, and I didn't learn very much, but you know, everybody has different experiences. Mine wasn't very good. Did some digital stuff. Oh, this is a fun piece. So this was actually for Art Germ, and I'm sure many of you guys know Art Germ, especially if you came over from Psychra's channel. You would have seen Psychra's interview with Art Germ actually pretty recently. But yeah, so I was a huge fan, and he had the Pepper project, and I'm just like, I've got to get in on that Pepper project, baby. Right? So I didn't actually sound like that. So I put this together. At the time, I remember I had just downloaded Nox, this video. If anybody of you even remember Nox is mad, he doesn't upload very much anymore. I don't even see him anymore. But this French concept artist, he uploaded a video, and in the video, he drew the nicest stomach I've ever seen. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna work really hard on this stomach. And so I worked really hard on the stomach. I grabbed myself some reference, and I worked for hours, and then I just kind of like threw the rest of the body together. So you can see I have this really masculine face, not even planned out, like Pepper additions, and like the pants don't make any sense in terms of like the body, and just yeah, this picture all around was very weak, but everything that you do is a step towards something better, and that's what I was focusing on. At this point, I think I was a little bit angry already, and I was working on that rage a little bit, which was keeping me going, but I don't recommend it just because in an older video I talked about it. Don't use rage. It will work for a while, but you burn yourself out. Once I burnt out and I came back, I continued at the same pace, but I had a totally different mentality with it. But okay, here's some more school studies we can see. I did some sketches, some pen sketches. I used to be so proud of this one. These are some of my classmates, and I was so proud of this. And now I'm looking at them, just like, oh my gosh, so funny. But yeah, I really like these. And I got some cool comments from other people on the sketchbook. Some of these guys are pros. Some of these guys were pros back then, so that's pretty crazy because now they're just still pros. Subway sketching. Yeah, this. I went subway sketching with Bobby Chu. This was back in the day. Damn, girl. I don't know why I said girl, but whatever. Just threw together some of these sketches, and Bobby Chu gave me a sketch in my sketchbook here, as you can see. And then the rest of these, I was actually pretty proud of myself because I'm just like, wow, I drew a hand and some people and some girl was looking at me. She's breaking the fourth wall, and I'm just like, hey girl, I got it. All right, girl. You know what I'm saying? And I did some of these. I don't know. Oh, I also used to practice hands all the time. For some reason, my favorite, again, don't laugh at me and don't even judge me, all right? My favorite place to draw when I was at my parents' house was the washroom. And so I just sit there with my sketchbook on one leg and my hand on my lap, and I would just draw my hand in different positions. Some of these are very, very suspect. You don't even, all right? There was, you know what, next picture, let's see. So, okay, I did a portrait here of somebody that I found on the internet. I was trying to do lots of portraits. I actually ended up painting this one. I think it took me like 20 hours. It was the first time I ever took time to work on a painting, and I was so proud of myself. I mean, yeah, it was good for the time that I did it. Yeah, I remember this is from stock. Yeah, so some of these are really old. Oh yeah, this, and by the way, my sketches are really, really small. So these are probably the size of just a small coin. Both of these sketches. This was supposed to be a self-portrait. It looks nothing like me, but you know, at the time I was like, oh man, look at this self-portrait, I'm gonna put this in my portfolio. Yeah, girl. Because yeah, I was trying to get into illustration as well. So yeah, this was for illustration as well. I mean, well, let's speed up a little bit. Now this picture right here, this was a landmark for me. This was actually very important. So if you can see right here at the top of the page, I commented, ugh, why is she so smooth? And I had no idea. I'm just like, what is going on with this picture? I want it to look like a person, but for some reason it's so smooth. What is going on? What ended up happening was I went into the chat that CA used to have, and I asked a girl on there named Jessie Bean, and I'm not even sure if she even remembers this. She told me the reason why it looks so smooth is because you're using, first of all, I was using like brushes and softening everything, but second of all, because I was focusing on color, but I didn't know anything about value. She's like, your values are all messed up. And if you guys don't understand what value is, it means like the black and whites, right? Like the lights and darks in your picture, right? Like hue would be the color, and then value is, you know, the blacks, the whites, and all the in-betweens with the grays. And so then I made it a goal to work in black and white to start every single picture. So I might have broken that rule a few times in here, but yeah, so like this one, this was the first time I jumped in and I started trying to work with values, and I started using some reference websites. If I can find some of these, I'll throw them into the bottom of the page for you. But yeah, so I started really focusing on value, and I'm not talking about focusing just a little bit on value. I'm talking about a year of value. And if I did add color, it was always afterwards, using like overlay layers and stuff. And this was actually teaching me how to do some of the stuff that I do today when you see me manipulating overlay layers. So these were for a daily draw thing that I did. This actually really helped because I was posting every single day on DeviantArt, and within that month I managed to get myself 13,000 views on DeviantArt. And this was the first time I'd even had any attention on the site, considering my old page, this one, Siege, only had like 2,000 views. So I was really surprised and really excited. So I'm gonna skip a bunch of pages and go through to like page 8. Let's see. Ooh, I was live streaming now. this is when I met a few really cool people like Raul from DA, and I'll post him in the description as well. And I also met Katie D'Souza, and she works for Riot, or at least last time I checked she was still working for Riot, and she actually, like, I saw some of her promotional work for League of Legends, so she's amazing. And she used to come to my live stream and just talk to me, which was the first time that anybody, like, the first time anybody who I considered to be like really popular, because I think at that point she was actually over 1 million views on her page. And then I had like Yanashi come and check out my stuff and talk to me, and it was like, it wasn't that I felt popular or something like that. It was more of the fact that bigger artists who I never thought would ever even notice me or talk to me were talking to me on a daily basis and just be really nice. And they brought their audience with them sometimes, and they were just really supportive, and they'd push me forward. And it was like, it's the first time I really had any sort of a push from the community, and this was over on DeviantArt that this was happening. And so I was really happy. And then, like, I used to just talk to people, and I would put up just different sketches that I did, and I take requests from people who were watching and stuff. And it was like the first time as well that I was doing more of a public speaking thing on the internet. And this was back when live stream got really popular. So I made this picture with ban hammer. I thought that was funny because I was banning somebody. And yeah, see, B and get it. It's hilarious. I don't know why the arrows happened, or the fire in her arm. I don't know. And she's bringing this back. That's cheap. Come on now, son. What are you? At this point, I was putting into action all the things that I was learning from studying value extremely hard. There's a lot of value thing. Oh my gosh, not safe. Okay, I'm gonna stop it for now, guys. There's a second part to this video. I'm going to be releasing that on Friday, but be sure to check in tomorrow because I have another video coming out, actually, another reminiscing video. So be sure to check that out. Doing another fan art on that one. And yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I've got so much to do. I don't. I always say that, but alright guys, peace.